God is their mother and father. They copy and paste,
Like a generation of it. Yeah.
and that psychology when they develop, of course, when they grow up and when they get formed, is most subconsciously they do this.
Yes.
Because, and religiously, the Prophet ﷺ says, every son of man born in their fitrah. It's their family that makes them Yahud and Nasara.
Yeah.
So it's our family, our environment that makes us. But when you hit puberty, you are fully formed. But then if you do not ask questions, then of course you're going to follow what your subconscious is telling you. Because your subconscious is, you always works much more heavy in you that you don't even know. And most of the people, even though when they're later on in life, they think that, should I think something different? But their culture and family, their family has been good to them, their mother loved them, so it's a much more emotional attachment to it. Sorry, my brother. What did you ask?
Yeah, sorry, I was asking you, on your concept of judgment, does everyone get judged at the same time?
What do you mean by my concept of judgment?
Like your religious beliefs. I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Muslim, right?
I am, alhamdulillah.
And you guys believe in a judgment day, right?
Yes, we do.
And everyone gets judged on
Everybody.
that point. Okay, no, that's what I wanted to ask. Your
But we also believe that if Islam is not reached to anybody, they will be judged differently.
Oh, okay.
Because Islam has to reach to a person with clear evidence, a sound mind and a natural inclination like you.
When you say Islam, do you mean the meaning behind the word, or are you specifically talking about after Mohammed?
Okay, when I say in today's age, when I say Islam, I mean that the Islam that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ brought. It's a specific Islam. But if you say what the Islam means, in generally, we think that every religion came, it was Islam. Because we're going to go to the definition of the word. Islam means submission. So we say whichever religion you look into at the end or at the core of it, it says submit to a creator. So afterwards, when generation comes and the people die and the Prophet died, then it's the people that change things.
No, I understand.
Yes.
So you're saying is you're talking about the Islam,
the specific Islam that after Prophet ﷺ brought. Yes.
Okay. So my question to you is: so obviously before the Prophet,
yes,
there was a bunch of humans around.
Yes.
Okay. So my question to you is: what happens to them, or could they be living by his ideas? Even though he wasn't even born.
Yeah, because we say the idea of submission to one God is from the beginning.
Okay.
If you go to Hinduism, let's even take Hinduism. Okay. In Hinduism, to modern day Hinduism, there are millions of gods. But if you dig to their Vedas and to their books, you will find the concept of one creator who doesn't have any shape or form. So we say before
a man with
before.
So those people, necessarily, not all of them are going to hell.
No, because then Allah will judge them.
And see, that stance makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and I believe that, let's say 10, 20, 30, 100 generation after that, they never heard of oneness or whatever. They never heard Islam or whichever Islam you want to call it, before or after the Prophet ﷺ. I say that they will be judged accordingly.
I get you. No, that's what I'm saying.
Because as a Muslim, it's my personal belief, and I hope if I'm wrong, some brother will correct me. I say
that's what we
that we as Muslims believe in something called fitrah. Do you know? Have you heard about that?
It's the
innate inclination.
Something righteous.
No, to know what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah. I think that can
because if you go now in the jungles of Amazon Islam never reached there. If you ask them, is lying right or wrong? What would they say?
Christian, they don't have this mentality, but they
It's
don't
wrong.
What, the lying is wrong or lying?
Lying to somebody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They would agree with you. If you tell them killing unjustly, is it wrong? They would agree with you because it's a natural thing to know between right and wrong. So Islam came to bring back that inclination back to the nature.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you getting my point?
No, I'm getting it.
So Islam is a religion that brings us back to our natural inclination, because our natural inclination can be corrupted by our family, by our society. And that's why God sends prophets to remind people, to bring them back to that natural path.
Yeah.
Because people change their views and their lifestyle and their culture, because they say that we don't have any boundary. Every year we're going to develop mentally and physically or emotionally or religiously, but then we cross our boundaries, isn't it? And that's how our Creator sends prophets with rules and regulations. But look guys, you think that you're doing right. No, come back this way. This is the natural way. This is your fitrah. So this is my view.
Yeah, I understand.
And any honest person who has talked with himself and have some seriousness in his life, I think he should ask these deep questions. Why? Who am I? Where do I come from? Even though I think happiness is the purpose, when I get happy, then I go back to flipping sad again. And life is full of pain. Life is full of struggling. I mean, the modern society teaches you that, oh, it's all about happiness. And I say, well, seriously, define happiness. You can't. So it means that the purpose of life is not happiness. I see people say, oh, if I get this iPhone 14, I will be so happy. When they get it, and then iPhone 15 comes, they're not happy again. So we should ask these questions, serious questions. Life is serious. We say, isn't it? Oh, we have only one chance. Let's not waste it. Let's ask some deep questions.
That's why I believe that there's no such thing as an atheist.
You're a Sikh. I know that.
How did you know?
Huh?
How did you know?
Because I know. You're corrupt. You're corrupt.
I would say I'm a Sikh who, relative to the rest of the Sikhs, knows quite a lot about Islam. Yeah, because I've delved into it quite a bit.
Good. Knowledge is power, bro.
Exactly. Doesn't matter where it comes from.
Yeah, Islam teaches knowledge. Islam stands upon knowledge. The first verse came, it said read. Allah created the first thing, qalam, pen. Allah has a book. It's all shows us learning, writing.
Started with Iqra.
Yeah. Allah created the first thing, pen, and said write. Writing is in learning, isn't it? Allah has a book, Lawhul Mahfuz. It's a book.
Well, that's why they say that pen is more powerful.
That's what I'm saying. So my point was that Islam is all about learning.
Yeah.
It's all about knowledge.
Yeah.
And one of the daily prayers of our Prophet ﷺ was وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي إِلْمًا. Increase, Ya Rabb, increase me in knowledge.
Yeah.
So it's good. I encourage you.
Yeah, I do the same though with like
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Well done. And if you're honest here, Allah or our Creator, whatever you want to call it, it will bring you to the right path. Because
And what is the right path?
the right path is to believe in one Creator. And the Prophet ﷺ, the last prophet, he is prophet. And then when we open the book, we have more prophets, and we believe in them.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
See, that's where Sikhs and Muslims will always disagree in it, because
I agree with you,
the
bro.
last prophet. Where you know the Shahada.
Look,
the
I grew up 13 years among Sikh and Hindu
You said you were
community,
from Afghanistan, innit?
but I lived in India.
In India. Oh,
I grew up
what part?
Delhi. So Sikhs were my friends, Sikhs were my classmates, Hindus were my friends, Hindus were my classmates.
Yeah.
But
So you're
I know about their religion. Yeah, I know about their religion. I know about. I've been when I was young. I used to go to Gurdwara, eat langar.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good.
So I've been in that community. I understand their philosophy, their religion, and their history.
Obviously, in our scripture as well, we do appreciate Mohammed.
I do. I
don't
know.
if we mention anything about
And
Jesus.
in Guru Granth, awwal Allah nur upaya, qudrat de sabande.
That's very.
That's in Guru Granth.
Mate, that's a very, very impressive thing. For you to quote it like that in a natural language, that was impressive. I'm not gonna
Thank
lie.
you. So it's in the Guru Granth. Awwal Allah nur
We're
upaya.
talking about the prayer, but I'm
No.
talking about the prophet. They actually praised him in the scripture.
No, I know that, and I believe as much as that I believe the ancestors of the Sikh community were Muslims.
Yeah.
What happened, that it happened in the Muslim community themselves. We have Ahmadiyya, we have this and we have that. So I say in the beginning, I'm going when this just started, I say
When what started?
the Sikhs.
Oh, what?
There is a point that everything starts, isn't it?
Are you talking about like
Would you agree?
Are you talking about Guru Nanak?
Yeah, Guru Nanak and all that.
Yeah.
I said they were Muslims. They were Muslims.
Yeah.
But later on, as like even in Muslim communities, there are firqa. Firqa mean groups. That they have gurus and they have they have places of their gurus that they buried. They go, they sing, they do so many things.
Okay.
So I say Sikh are one of those philosophies that got separated from Islam.
Okay, yeah.
Do you get my point?
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
I say in the beginning they were Muslims, but a time came.
Who was Muslim in the beginning?
Who was with the Muslims?
Who was the Muslim?
The
in the beginning?
Muslim
Are you talking about
in India?
Are you talking about the gurus were Muslims?
Well, I say I agree that maybe the gurus were Muslims.
Okay, you mean like they submitted to the will of the one creator?
Oh, yeah, and they accepted the Prophet ﷺ.
They did.
Okay,
But then obviously they're saying they're prophets themselves, so they can't accept
No,
that he was a
how do we know that later on people didn't write that they were prophets? Look, Allah says in the Quran that there are people who will change my words for some money. Are Sikhs are special?
No.
Don't you have bad people in you? No. These are questions, my brother.
But we're basing it off if they were prophets or not. That's basically what it comes down to.
No, but Sikhs now agree that they were gurus. They were divine.
Yeah, and we also believe that they were prophets of God, that they were sent by God.
Agreed.
And obviously,
Agreed.
they say it.
Agreed.
I'm not telling everyone to believe
Agreed,
that.
but I'm saying that to worship them or to
idolize the human being? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. No, the gurus are in the Sikh community. The gurus are idolized.
Yeah, they are.
They are, bro. They are.
And even they themselves say that no one should.
No, I agree.
Yes.
That's why I'm comparing with some Muslims that they idolize. There are groups in Islam that they idolize their teachers.
Was that a group in Islam, the one where they get together, I think they're topless. and
Topless.
They get like weapons and then they hit you.
Oh, they're Shias. Yeah, 12 are Shias.
I saw that. I was thinking.
So my point was not to go deep into Sikhism. My point was I was going to make a point that I say, it's my personal view, that Sikhism was, in the beginning they were Muslims, it's just a branch and they just got separated. That's all I say.
Yeah.
But if a Sikh person truly contemplates, I think he comes back to Islam, because I've never Sikh. I mean, mashallah, their beard and their turban, and mashallah, they're warriors.
No, but do you think the Sikhs would believe that the gurus were lying?
No, I'm not saying the Gurus are lying.